Let's queer up politics.
While you're still 32, according to Cindy. I love it.
Is political culture war to turn America against LGBTQ plus working? In one word, poll says yes. As anti-LGBTQ plus bills from politicians spike across the United States, support for gay and transgender people is also declining among the public. While the majority of Americans still support marriage equality and anti-discrimination policies, a recent report from the Public Religion Research Institute shows that the support for LGBTQ plus rights has decreased in the past few years. While around 72% of the public supported marriage equality in August 2021, just 66% said they supported it in 2023. The PRRI cites partisan dynamics as a factor behind the shift, which has largely influenced Republican voters. For example, support for policies requiring transgender people to use bathrooms based on their sex at birth nearly doubled among GOP voters in just 7 years. Bathroom bills were supported by just 44% of Republicans in 2016 compared to 80% in 2023. While younger generations are more likely to support LGBTQ plus people, particularly transgender people, previous PRRI analyst has shown that partisanship could overcome generational divides. So my feeling is I don't believe it. I don't believe in the polls after the 2016 election and seeing how horribly wrong they were after the midterms where there was supposed to be this red wave. My feeling is that the way that we are polling needs to change, and our demographics, we are not as segmented in you're just a Republican, you're just a Democrat. We have to make those choices when we're at the ballot box, but it's not anymore that Republicans are just anti-abortion, anti-gay, anti-this, and then liberals or Democrats are one way here. So I do believe, my personal belief, and I'm not going off of these polls, is that actually support for gay people has been higher than what is reported. There is a margin of error for the study.
Of course.
I think it's transgender people that have been caught in the crosshairs. And many people, I don't know if this religious institute exactly who they polled or
That's my question. Who did they Did they poll?
If they have more access to religious people,
Exactly.
maybe
Then
more.
I understand those higher numbers
Of course.
from Republicans.
Of course.
Yeah.
I will say that that this agency, and I haven't read the methodology behind this story either, but they do generally have well-sourced polls. You know, they ask questions and they work scientifically. Scientifically, that's the word I can come up with. But you know what I'm saying is that they do generally reputable.
And why are they so wrong? The polls have been so wrong, and so many. Even the Pew research institutes have been so off the mark the past.
They're never going
years.
to be spot on completely.
No, but I mean, the
not
margin of
polling the
error
right
has been
people, I guess.
has
Well,
been
or
much
not
further off.
not a good diversity.
But just remember, like a few weeks ago, I think we were on the show for that as well. We talked about how support just for marriage equality in general had fallen from 53% to 44% among Republicans. That seems like a more reasonable poll. But my takeaway from this story, while just sort of like getting away from the actual numbers, is that if you harass someone enough, if you put the message out there that trans people are bad, gay people are dangerous, if you put it out there enough, you are going to move the needle.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I'm seeing in this, is that however far the needle has moved, I would say it is moving, and it's moving away from our benefit and from our rights.
So I'm agreeing with you, John. I think it's a poll that's saying people do what they're told to do.
Yeah.
And since the right has made an issue of transgender rights, of queer rights, then everyone follows suit. Oh, it's an issue now, so we're gonna take a stand.
Culture wars.
Right.
I can say that my personal experience being an avid consumer of conservative media, that maybe 3-4 years ago, prior to transgender issues, it was gay, and now with Ron DeSantis, he's kind of starting something else, but he's getting a lot more ridicule for it than he is getting praise, from what I see.
Now.
But the conservatives seem to be like, all right, guys, the gay thing, that's kind of a losing issue. Trans is where it's at. This is where we can make everything happen and drag. And most people don't understand the difference between drag and
Transgender and
trans.
drag, right.
Yeah.
They don't understand the difference between gender and sexual orientation. And I think there is a kind of a confusion campaign going on there to just lump everything together. Like a vote for a transgender in a bathroom means anti-gay
can
marriage
go
or something
into
like that.
Yeah.
Right? So I do think that there is progress on their part, what they're trying to do, which is lump everything together and make one thing seem like it's the whole when they're really separate issues.
Right.
But I know the conservative hosts, they are not talking about gay people the way that they used to talk
No,
about.
at all.
They have realized, like even Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity and
Yeah.
stuff, that when they're asked about it in town halls, they'll say, you know what, if people are gay, you know, it's gay, but it's really this trans thing that is taking everybody, you know,
Yeah.
off the cliff. So I think it's a little bit more complicated than what a poll can show, but
course.
the actual polls that we vote in, that's where it's gonna.
That's
you know,
where
we're gonna
that's
see
where
it.
it counts. That's where we
what
see it.
matters.